Alright everybody, so we're going to talk about the overgarment and we're going to cut this overgarment. So this is what I got. I got my overgarment piece here and I've already cut this. We're going to talk about the cutting process. After you've copied and traced and followed the steps from the book, you would have something like this, yeah? Check in the picture or on the top left corner, that is the one that you've copied from the book. So I've made a copy and we're going to cut this real quick. So we're going to cut on all the solid lines, removing these blocks and separating them from each other so that we can have the back and the front separated. Alright, so the first thing we want to do before we start tracing, we want to go back to the dart over here, and we see that the dart numbers is 19 and 17. In the middle of 19 and 17, we want to measure, or at least make a dot, middle dot, and measure from there about 1 centimeter up, so that you can make a little arrow going up. We need this for the later stage, yeah? So just copy that over, 1 centimeter up, and connect the dots 19 to that middle point and then 17 to that middle point. You will have some sort of triangle up top. Alright, so let's start cutting, people. I'm gonna grab my scissor and I'm gonna cut from the number 8 all the way up. At this point in time, we're going to cut next to the line, on the inside of the line, all the way up from 8. And we are cutting the center front pattern first, or at least the front pattern first. Cutting up to 8 and then cut around the neck from 18 to 17. Around the neck to 17, and then across from 17 to that point that we made just now, and then down from that point down to 19, and then we're going to cut towards 21. And remember, 21 is a slight curve, yeah, that's the shoulder line of the front. After we cut the shoulder line from the front, we're going to cut around the armhole towards 23, and then we're going to intersect the point of 22 towards 25, and then around intersecting 12, number 12, and then passing the point of 13 up towards 16, once I have that point, I'm going to cut the armhole or the shoulder line of from 16 towards 9, number 9. And then I'm going to cut around the neckline of the back from number 9 towards number 1. And then thereafter we're going to cut down from number 1 all the way past the point of 11, 10, 2, 5, 7, and then from 7 we're going to cut across to 27, and towards number 8. Alright people, so that's what we got so far, and the last step is to cut from 27. Now we are splitting the two blocks in half, so it's still the back and it's still the front together on the side seam. This line over here is a side seam, and we want to split this line as well. So you might want to ask, which line do we cut now if we're going to cut on the inside of either the back or the front line? At this point in time, you can decide which line you want to cut from. So we're going to cut on the inside of the front panel, up from 27 all the way to 25. And there's our two blocks, people. Here's our back and here's our front, and that's what it takes to cut the traced pattern from the book. Here after, I've turned mine into hard copies, so this is my hard copies. So all that I got to do now before I move on to the next step is just to write on here. We're going to write back. This is the back, and this one is the front. And there's our two pattern panels. Alright people, let me know what's up and I'll catch you in the next.